Hello, I'm Dr. Glenn L. Thompson, Professor Emeritus at Asia Lutheran Seminary. Every ethnic group has its own distinctive religious and social customs for the special occasions that take place in family life. Especially important are those that take place for the four major changes: birth, becoming an adult, marriage, and death. In this series of lessons, we will look at the biblical customs associated with these events. The Bible teaches us that children are a great blessing from God. Unfortunately, this led many Jewish women to feel unnecessary shame if they were not able to bear children, as the stories of Hannah, Rachel, and Elizabeth all show. In Greek and Roman cultures, deformed or sickly babies were allowed to die, but Jews were thought strange because they raised every baby. The birth of a son was considered a special blessing in Jewish families because many mothers dreamed that their newborn child might possibly be the long-awaited Messiah. When the time came for a baby to be born, a midwife usually assisted the mother in giving birth. Ezekiel 16 tells us that as soon as a child was born, its umbilical cord was cut, the baby was immediately washed with warm water and rubbed with salt. Then he was laid with his arms at his side and wrapped firmly with strips of cloth to keep him warm and keep his back straight. This arrangement was used for some time, allowing the mother to put the child down and do her daily work without fear that the child would roll over and hurt himself. If the child was a boy, he was circumcised on the 8th day, as God's law required. This was also the occasion at which the child's name was officially announced. It was a Jewish custom to name the child after his father or another male relative if he were a boy, or a female relative if she were a girl. Relatives often gave input on the choice of names. At times, a name was chosen to fit a particular situation or some peculiar feature of the baby, but this custom was fading by New Testament times. For 40 days after the birth of a boy and 80 days after the birth of a girl, the mother remained at home. After that period, the mother went to the temple to be purified and present her child to the Lord. She brought a lamb, or, if the family was poor, 2 pigeons or turtle doves as an offering, as Mary and Joseph did in Luke 2. These were the main customs surrounding birth. The mother continued to breastfeed the child for several years, or would find a wet nurse to do so. When the child ended this period of breastfeeding and was weaned, the family held a celebration to honor this occasion and thank the Lord that the baby had survived the critical first years of life. Weaning marked the child's first step towards becoming an adult.